In the last video, we talked about an example where we borrowed $1 from our friend and he gave us 5 options on how we can pay him back with interest. The first option compounded once a year. The second option compounded twice a year, and each option after that compounded increasingly more frequently. The fifth option compounded every day. What we discovered is that instead of the compounded interest we owed our friend growing out of control like you would expect, it seemed to get closer and closer to a number. It turns out the number was E. Before we get too crazy with what we can do with E, I want to briefly explain what E is and where it came from. Then I'll talk about how we can use E. The number E is a mathematical constant, much like pi, that is the base of the natural logarithm. The unique number whose natural logarithm is equal to 1, E is approximately equal to 2.71828, and is the limit of 1 plus 1 divided by n to the nth power as n approaches infinity, an expression that arises in the study of compound interest. It's sometimes called Euler's number, after Swiss mathematician Leonhard Euler. E is not to be confused with Euler-Mascheroni constant, sometimes called simply Euler's constant. The number E is also known as Napier's constant, but Euler's choice of symbol, E, is said to have been retained in his honor. The constant was discovered by the Swiss mathematician Jacob Bernoulli while studying compound interest. Now, I've literally pulled this information off of Wikipedia, and you can look it up and read it the exact same description at any time. I simply just wanted to give you some background on the number E. Now we're going to go over why is it important. Now remember the expression we used last time, 1 plus 1 divided by n to the nth power. Now remember, as n approaches infinity, it reaches a limit of approximately 2.71828. And what does that equal? That's right, E. Knowing that, E plays a huge part with the formula we use for continuous compound interest. Now let's say that we want to know how much money we will have if we invest $100 over 5 years at 10% and it's compounded continuously. Let's use the expression we used earlier to figure this out. Our principal times 1 plus 1 over n to the nth power, and we know as n goes to infinity, it reaches the limit we know to be E. So we can essentially say that 1 plus 1 over n to the nth power approximately equals E. Now we're left with P times E. In order to figure out how much we earn after 5 years with 10% interest with our principal $100, we still need to account for interest and time. Let's assign them a variable like we did with our principal. We will say that time equals T and interest equals R, which is common in finance and investing. Now obviously we are going to times our principal by E, but in order to factor in time, T, and our rate, R, we need to raise E to our rate multiplied by time, which looks like P times E raised to the R times T power. Now for example, let's take our principal and multiply it by E and raise it to the power of 0.1 times 5. This equals approximately $167.87. So if we invest $100 at 10% interest for 5 years and it's compounded continuously, we would earn approximately $167.87. Next episode, we're going to go over the time value of money. If you found this episode helpful, please give it the thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you feel inclined, please like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and if you really want to, subscribe to Gennecho's weekly newsletter. We will give you all sorts of advice, tips, and strategies to all things finance and investing. Just click the link below and enter your name and email in the form provided. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.